to truth, art, and saying things that most people are afraid to say.
Against the white wall, TV antennas in the back. You may not have a ball, but remember my brothers and sisters, you can see who's standing tall. Just remember your word together. You may not have the ball. Instead of lying in the back, some rooftop, singing in the sing with the gangster lean. Instead of lying in the back, some rooftop, singing in the sing with the gangster lean. Oh, you may not drive.
Some artists chase the spotlight, others survive it. Today's guest is Tanya Ross, singer, songwriter, musician, and vocal instructor with over 37 years on stage. Imagine that, 37 years. She's opened for legends, built her own musical path through the Tanya Ross Project, and dedicated her life to spreading love, healing, and hope through music. This isn't a highlight reel. This is the real story. The ups, the downs, and everything in between. Please welcome Miss Tanya Ross.
Hey, 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 hey. Woo! I like that twist that you put on that introduction. Yes, ma'am.
I'm winning now.
I like that.
Thank you so much for coming here on Artistry Unplugged. And
Yes.
we are so happy to have you. And I'm telling you, I know your schedule's pretty busy, but to come here is we're greatly appreciative.
I'm thankful that you invited me. It has been a great, warm time even before we began. We've been talking, y'all. Yes.
Before we do it,
I love it though. Yes, yes.
well, we're just gonna get on right on sounds good and just be open and just whatever you want to talk about.
Okay.
All right. When did music stop being fun and start feeling serious for you?
You said stop being fun and start being serious?
Yes.
I think that's crazy to ask me that because I still find it fun, if that makes sense. It's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that even though I was having fun when I was younger, I was always serious because I had a knowing within myself that music was what I was called to do. I always knew that as a child. So it's always been fun and serious all at the same time. But more than anything, healing.
Do you think it's important to have that fun aspect to it?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it can be a better ride for you?
Yes, I feel like in order for you to enjoy yourself, but also to be able to reach the audience, that element has to be there. Now, and that's even if it is a song or something like that that is sad, or a song that provokes or pulls out feelings that are not fun feelings. There still has to be an art of fun in you as an artist expressing that so that people can feel it and go with you on your journey.
Wow.
If that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
Very much
Yeah,
so.
really does.
Wow. Because also, if you're not feeling it,
Come on with it now. Because that's exactly it.
yeah.
If you don't feel it first, your audience will never feel it. So it's very important that you first are in tune with your music. You're in tune really even deeper with your emotions. Because there are a lot of artists that are great artists that can sing. They have the talent. They can do the tricks. They can do the acrobats. They can sing. They can do all of that. But you might not be able to feel them, which is on a deeper level. A lot of times you can't feel them because they're not in tune with their own emotions.
Ooh.
So how can you convey something to the audience that you're not in tune with your own emotions when it comes to anger, sadness, love? It's hard to convey those things if you don't feel them.
And it helps you to write too.
Yeah, all of that helps.
All that out there.
Yes, you gotta have it.
You gotta be personable, right?
I do believe that. Yeah, because you can do it. Anybody can do it. And when I say anybody who has the talent to sing or play or learn how to play or read music or something like that, as long as they have an ear, as far as vocalists, and then as long as if we're talking musicianship, if you don't have an ear, you play by music. If somebody teaches you how to play and you're good with that, you can do it. But it doesn't mean that we're going to feel it.
Mm-hmm. There's
The difference between technicality and then technicality combined with music and love and emotions and passion. Passion.
Wow, that's good.
Passion. Yeah, with passion.
When you talk about now, you play the keys. Is there any other instruments you play?
I play bass guitar.
Okay.
Keys. I play drums very little. We're not going to give too much credit with that, but I play drums this little. And then I also do recording engineer. I've done a couple of my albums. I've done some recording things. So I kind of have my hands in things.
Did you? Now you're self-taught.
I am. What? I'm self-taught. I've been blessed.
Yes.
I forgot about clarinet. I did study clarinet for years. I just don't play it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I did do that. I forgot about that.
That's in the jack of all trades. See,
I tried it right now.
I'll learn about this Tanya Ross.
Yes, jack of all trades. And too, I carry the hats on the band. Management of the band. I've been doing that for years. Do everything. I run sound, all of that, because you have to learn. I feel that if you're going to be an artist that is self-contained, then you need to learn a little bit of everything. And though I am blessed with some awesome musicians that I play with or that have sat in with me, which is awesome, I also have always had the understanding or the attitude that I'll do it by myself if I don't have a support behind me, which is why I made myself learn how to play the piano, learn how to run sound. Because if no one is there, then I don't have to depend on anybody.
You like to be like a one-woman band.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, self-contained.
Yes.
Because this keeps you at a place that you're at an elevated space that you don't have to depend on anybody. Which means that if they decide to cut up and say, I'm not going to do it, or, if the sound man is too expensive to get because they got to make their money too, cool. You don't have to. I can do it. But somebody can do it.
Now, did you take any voice lessons, or this is all natural?
All natural.
Talent.
All natural. And
when did you know you had a voice? What age? And when did all that start?
I think, okay, so I could sing. I always could sing. But I'm going to say 11 was kind of when I started singing. And I think there was a choir director back when we lived in Georgia. His name was Jackie Burns. Bless his soul and rest his soul. He died a few years ago. But he saw something, I think, in me as a child. I knew I had a gift, but he saw something that I didn't see. And one day he asked me to sing, and he just kind of was like, you have this thing. And I think when he asked me to do it and then I sung, I was like, wow. And then that's when I started, I think, feeling a deeper purpose.
So he heard you. He knew he heard it before.
Yeah. And he asked me to sing a lead song on the choir. And I remember doing it, and I remember just being full, even at 11, just feeling like, wow, and that's when I kind of knew this is what I'm supposed to do. Wow.
You start chasing it from there.
Yeah. And you know what? Chase. Now, we talked about that earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
I never chased anything.
You didn't. Were you trying to go anywhere with it, or you just was just want to just be mainstream, just local?
I think I was just being who I was.
Okay.
I've always had a sense of knowing as a child. I knew once I got serious about singing, I knew it was for greater purpose. So I don't think I chased it. I think I just was it.
All right. That's what I'm talking
See what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I think from being understanding you and saying, even as a child, oh, this is deeper than me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to chase.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not from an arrogant space.
No.
It's from a confident space, but it's from a space of a spiritual space of saying, I don't have to chase what's already been given that's mine.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to use it and be in it in excellence.
Yes.
And then those things will come.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it's excellence, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Because you can have a gift and not be excellent. Because you choose not to be.
Yeah.
We don't get it. So if you choose to be mediocre, then don't expect excellent gigs.
But you got to work at it, though.
You have to work at it.
Okay.
You have to nourish it. That's what I mean when I say it was in me. I knew it. I didn't chase it. But what I did do is say, if I want more or better, or I want to be the greatness that is, then I have to nourish what is in me. And if I don't nourish it to be better and better and better, and I don't have that sense of being better for me, not anyone else, not competing. I didn't want to compete. I didn't have to compete because my only competitive stick was me.
Mm-hmm.
So the only person I was always competing against was
yourself.
Yes. So now, so think about that. When we compete with ourselves, then we are striving for excellence in ourselves every day.
Yes.
To get better and better.
Yes.
So I think that I just said, okay, if you want to do it, you got to do it right.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to nourish it. And you can't be slack. You got to be disciplined. Listen to the people that you like, what they do, how they do, but don't imitate.
Don't imitate
what they do.
Yes.
But listen to the clarity. What is it you like about the city? What did you like about the city? Mm-hmm. So I think it was that. I nourished what was mine.
Wow. I love
that.
I love that. That's a good way to look at it.
Yes.
I don't know if people go deep and do that. That's the same.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I think that we have not. I'm thankful because I've always been a spiritual person. Mm-hmm. And I think from a very young age, and then I will say with my mother has always been a motivator. See, she has a motivating spirit. It is so great to have, right?
Tell me.
And because she was a motivator, and my mom was always saying, you can do it. God didn't make no junk. He died. She kept pouring into you, period. Just as you know, as that, right? I think because I had that, and then on top of my own spirituality, I knew that it was something that you have to nourish. Mm-hmm. That nothing is going to come to you just because you had the talent. Nothing is just going to drop on your lap. That you have to do things in order to have a presentation that actually attracts the people who want you. Wow. And that comes with saying, well, whether I'm singing, playing, or doing this for an event or for someone, I need to be excellent for me. And if I'm not being excellent for me, then nothing's going to come to me. Right. Because whatever I am for me is what I am going to attract to me.
Then it's for you.
And then
whatever's.
That's right. No, you're correct.
Yes.
Yeah, because even if you're mediocre or you're not putting in what you just said,
yes,
that's what's going to be for you. Yes. That's what's going to attract for you, right? But then if you within yourself, no one else, and I want to make that point, no one else, this is about a personal journey. And I feel like if more artists will understand, stop competing against this person. There's always one of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, what were you going to say?
I was gonna say that's almost like in all type of arenas. Like
Yes, it
you
is.
tend to do that.
Yes, it
You
is.
can't go anywhere doing that.
Yes, you
You
can't.
have to be yourself.
You have to be
You have to
yourself.
affect what God's given you.
Yes. Yes. Because even if we were going to say, even with you with the podcast,
Yes.
if there's a podcaster that you really look up to, well, we don't want to see that podcaster in Michelle. We want to see who is Michelle
Yes.
as a podcaster.
Yes.
Who is she?
Mhm.
I don't want to see a duplicate that you're doing of someone else. Because what you bring is going to be a different element. And
Right.
And I think of all of us, no matter what, like you said, what artist field you're in or what field you're in, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Even if you're an engineer,
Mhm.
I mean, you don't want to be like the engineer that was the one before. You want to bring something to
That's
the
right.
table that makes you different.
Mhm.
Yeah, we say, dang, that's nice.
Yes.
So I think it's
Yes.
when we do tune in to the oneness of me as an individual, who am I as a singer? What do I want to accomplish as a singer? Where is my purpose as a singer? Then I think when you do that, then the right things align. You're aligning with the right things for you.
But it won't come if you don't know who you are.
If you don't know who you are,
Exactly. If somebody can ask you, tell me who Tanya is.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not. They seem tend to go somewhere else with it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really look within.
Yes.
Pull out who you are.
Because a lot of artists are looking outside of them and seeing people and they become mimickers.
Mm.
But like even in my vocal studio, I tell them, I think it's great if you want to listen to this person, that person, and that's great. I said, but what we're going to do, I don't want you to study them.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to look and see things that you like. Then we want to develop your own voice. Who are you? What is your voice? Don't get stuck on mimicking.
Yeah.
Because then I don't want to be the next. I mean, I'm just throwing out an artist here.
Right.
I want to be the next Jasmine something that sounds just like her. We have Jasmine.
Mm-hmm.
So why would I want to be Jasmine?
Right.
We have her.
That's right.
She's already made her mark.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to become a trendsetter. I'm a trendsetter, not a follower. Yeah, I think that's the difference.
That's crazy. You bring that name up too because
I know her name's too.
you listen to her, you can hear little things of Brandy.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't become Brandy. She became Jasmine.
Yes. Right. You're exactly right. Because she doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
You hear an influence, but she's not being Brandy.
No.
And not trying to be Brandy.
Nope. Not at all.
Exactly. That's a good example.
Yes. What was the first moment you realized? When was the first moment you realized that this life was going to be hard for you?
Hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I have such a different take, and I love these questions that you're asking, because I think we can shed light on the thinking of the person and as an artist. It hasn't been hard for me from the aspect of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even say that. I'm going to say this. It's been challenging.
Okay.
In moments when you're a full-time musician with money over the years, but I don't think I ever thought to myself, this is hard.
So you never wanted to quit along the way during this journey?
You know when that came out? 17 years in?
Wow.
So it was a long time before that ever. Yeah, and this is even through going through hard times sometimes, meaning that I was like, oh my God, I rent is due. Because I've been full time since. Okay, so my career path over the years, the 37 years includes like even when I was younger, because I was with a traveling gospel choir back in the day, David L. Allen, Ambassadors Cathedral Choir. So we were kind of like a professional choir because we were doing records and CDs, and we were on Bobby Jones, so that's that whole span of that. But as far as my own personal career, as my first band being Ebonique, and then the second half of my band after Ebonique was the Tanya Ross Project, that span has been next year 30 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have been full time for 28 of those 30 years. So I became full time at 24 years old. And even in the midst of the challenges that came in going full time, and when I was like, oh my God, man, it's too, you know what I'm saying? I never still looked at it as hard.
Wow.
And I think it's because I knew it was purpose driven. I knew that my music was to help heal me, heal others. And so it was never like, oh man, I want to give up. Not then.
Yeah.
17 years later, within that 30 years, I wouldn't even say I wanted to give up. I was frustrated.
In what way? When you say frustrated?
I was frustrated because at the time I just couldn't understand why there were certain goals and certain things that I had not reached for me. And one of those things being that I wanted to be touring all over the world.
Wow.
And not necessarily as a as a big star.
Okay.
Not that, from that aspect, but even just as a singer, just playing and singing all over. And I have.
Yes.
But I wanted to be a world traveler. I have been places traveling. I've been to Virginia, been to Philadelphia, been to Atlanta, been to South Carolina. There's plenty of places I can tell you I've been to sing. But I wanted to say, oh yeah, I've been to Africa. I've been to this place. I've been every state there is singing. And so I think I was frustrated that I hadn't. And I felt like I was tired.
Really?
Yeah, and then you get tired of all the people that are in your area saying, we don't understand why you're not there. Why have you not? Because I hear that. I hear that to this day.
You got to be joking me.
I hear that to this day. We don't understand. You should be on TV. You should be around the world. You should be this. You should be that. We don't understand.
But they're telling you you should wait. Okay.
But this is them just that I understand where they're coming from. They're coming from in a supportive way. They're saying, you're that good. We don't understand why. And then I think to myself, well, we have a path. And then with a lot of the things that I found out about the industry early, because I've always been one that sought knowledge on what I was trying to do. And there's a lot of darkness in the industry. So I was always like, I don't know if I really want necessarily that big thing like that. So I think I got frustrated during that time.
Yeah. And I can see why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do. But when people come at you like that, do you feel like are they?
You might get head off.
Yeah. Make yourself come.
Listen. Listen. I'm going through the change. You're going through the change. Listen, you had hot flashes in a minute, okay? They kicking right there. And we got that little drink. I'm looking at that little drink too. Yes.
Well, when you talk about the people, do it ever make you go to a place to say, are they trying to say that I should be further than where I am now?
No,
Okay.
because I think it's because I am very, I guess because I have always known who I was. What people say, even in their intention to be sincere, because I think those people, every time those people have said that to me, I felt a sincere energy. Nothing like trying to slight me.
Okay.
It never felt like that. It was always like, no, I'm sincere. I want to see you on that's on that bus. I want to.
Yeah.
And so it's been a sincere space. So I don't think that I never felt a slight. And then on the other end of that, I was talking to a friend of mine just last night, and I was telling her I'm so thankful that I am, and always have been very confident in who Tanya is. God.
You was just getting ready to pull that out of me. Yes, I'm like, I want to say that.
I'm so confident in who I am, and especially as a singer and an artist, I've never, even through some of the things that I went through in my personal journey, I've never doubted who I was as an artist or a singer. And I've never doubted And I'm saying this in the most level-headed and grounded way, centered way, no arrogance.
Mm-hmm.
I've always known it was a gift given from the source energy that I am confident in who I am and didn't care what nobody thought about it.
And that's important in this arena.
Yes.
So you have to be,
Yes.
you got to be confident who you are.
Yes.
Because if you caught up in that hoopla, you're not going to go anywhere.
You won't, and then you also will be comparing.
Yeah.
When you know who you are and you know it's a gift that God has given you, then you go, it's not that you don't pay attention or that things may not bother you sometimes, but then when you self-evaluate and you evaluate the sources that it's coming from, and when you see if the source to you feels like, that's just your own jealous self, you coming at me in that way, or you just, that's what people think.
Mm-hmm.
Then when you know who you are, you just go, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
Just let it bounce
okay.
off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you know who you are. Mm-hmm. And I've always known who I was.
That's so good.
And I've always known who I was in music. You know what I'm saying? Even through the tough times when I was going through some things, because I had battled suicide till I was 29. Those things didn't really have anything to do with me knowing who I was as a singer.
Okay.
And as my gift and purpose. You know.
So where did that come from?
I think, I was really evaluating that the other day. And I have always known, and there are a lot of people that you don't know that, and I'd be like, okay, you ain't me and you ain't my life. But I always knew at 7. I didn't know what it was, then, but I always knew I was gay. I always knew I was gay.
Okay.
That's that. But we come from that generation.
Right.
Honey, you better hush your mouth about that kind of stuff. I'm talking about that. And so what I realized is that when I moved here, because I never had those thoughts of suicide. When I moved here, I was about 14 or 15. Mm-hmm. And we went to, and I'm not going to name that place, but we went to a certain facility. Okay. And so a lot of the things that were said over the pulpit were very harsh that I would hear against homosexuals, against a lot of things, not just that, but a lot of things. And but that was one you'd hear all the time. I even had heard the faggot and knife across the thing. So I think that when you are already know there's something that you're hiding, but inside you feel okay. Mm-hmm. You're comfortable in your skin inside. But you're also in a certain place when you're younger where, you're growing. You're like, well, I know this about me, but at the same time, some people are confident the whole time in that. But then there's sometimes I'm a church girl. I need to get that out of me. Even though within myself, I was like, I don't feel uncomfortable with that. If I'm honest, not even as a child. Only thing that makes me feel funny about it is because y'all saying stuff and calling people who are with gender loving people, y'all calling them all those names. Mm-hmm. So I think from hearing that, and then there was some incidents that happened where that individual said very harsh things to me, and with me, I received a lot of ugly things that happened. Wow. That probably a lot of people don't know, but I do know. Yes. And I experienced some things that were ugly from the person that I looked up to. That I think, and at that time, my father was not present in my life. So this was the other, male person, mentor that you're looking up to. Because at that time, thank God, me and my father's relationship is healed. We're in a great place. But at the time, he wasn't present, my father. So this was the man you're looking up to, mm-hmm. And so when that person that you look up to is saying these harsh things and it makes you feel like, you are this and that because you are gay, then you're like, but I'm a spiritual person. Like,
Yeah.
and you know that within yourself.
Mhm.
I mean, you've seen the effects that even in church when you sung how the spirit would reign and but then you hear this from the opposite end. So then you're not fully whatever of yourself because you're young.
Mhm.
And you're like, oh my God.
You're confused, probably.
Yes, because you're like, I'm a bad person. Because you can't,
Right.
you're a child.
Mhm.
And if you're a child at 14, 15, and you're hearing this and you're growing, and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I feel good about myself. And I felt good about myself actually before I got under that facility, which is deep. But that's the truth. Because before I knew that, I never felt that. Before Georgia and then moving here. And then I start, and these are dots that I connected as an adult now. I wasn't connecting those dots then.
No, you were just
No.
baby.
Yeah, these are dots I connected as I grew, but I was like, wow, and I think that developed into self-hate.
No.
Yeah, it did because I remember when I would be singing folks happy and all that stuff with Ebony when I was in my 20s. Oh my God, I was so suicidal. I could be on the stage singing, and I would just because when I got on stage, I was like transformed.
Mm-hmm.
But there's times I would be on stage and I would just, whatever, and I get off that stage and I could be driving home and driving on the side of the road because trying to die, trying to kill myself. How many plastic bags I put over my head, and I just hating the person in the mirror because I felt like I was a bad person. And how can you be spiritual and you felt these things all your life? And he's saying this, and he's saying that, and it's like you lose a sense. And I think it made me turn on myself.
Mm-hmm.
I turned on me, and I started hating. And that's a strong word. It's true.
Not fair.
It's truth though.
Yeah.
I started hating the person looking back in the mirror. I hate it. I'm so thankful I'm in another place. I told somebody, now, let me see. I celebrate this 22 years of being free of the thoughts of suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell that story very transparent about it because there are people who go through it. There are artists who go through it.
Still
that they're singing to you happy.
And they're going to see
yes,
it's going to resonate.
Yes, and when you get off that stage, you're hating the person. Mm-hmm. And so at 29, I came into myself, but I was battling up until that moment. And it would be so crazy, ironic, because I would be singing. And I remember opening up for Bonnie James, and I was singing, and I was so suicidal. And I got off stage, and I went to the bathroom, and a lady was talking to me. And this is always emotional for me because it's like, wow.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, she said, "You have the voice of an angel." And she said to me, I felt like killing myself. And I was thinking, wow, I'm in the same place. But I didn't say that, but I kept thinking, oh gosh, I'm in the same place. Wow. But when she said this was the deep part, she said, but when I heard you sing, she said, I felt like I could live again.
Wow.
And I could go on one more day. And I just remember looking at her saying, oh my gosh, thank you. And I remember when I left, that source energy was saying to me, do you see the power that I've placed in you? I've placed power in you to heal yourself and others. And that even in the midst of you not loving you, even in the midst of you like just wanting to die, I am using your bad moments to heal another, to bring it back to your attention that you are loved. And that through this, that this lady has said to you, it will heal you. And even though you don't see it quite now, later on, some years later, because I wasn't ready, later on, thank you, some years later, you will see that this will come back to you to be the testimony that you're able to tell that literally will save your life. And you'll write songs about it. And so, again, going back when I told you I was God's purpose, I knew that. And even in the midst of being in darkness myself, but someone says they can hear that light, it was like two things on your shoulder. This darkness that's trying to keep you from awakening to yourself. And then the light saying, girl, we got work to do. You got to get up for this. So there was a battle. It was a battle, a personal battle.
Yeah.
That is like, you know who you are. That's not, you know who you are. No, you don't. You know who you are. No, you don't. You know. And then it's coming to the understanding to know who you are past what the opinions of others are. And once I understood, because I think we make a mistake sometimes, this might touch some viewers and make them go, and that's okay, because I'm okay with my truth.
Yes.
Sometimes we put too much power into the people that are standing on the pulpit, that are in these places, or not just the pulpit, any place that there's authority. Sometimes we're putting too much power in those people's hands to tell us who we are.
Yeah.
And then when you do that, you lose yourself. And when you lose yourself, you die.
Yeah. Literally.
You die.
Literally.
So you have to come to the place that you say, when I am reawakened to myself, because what's crazy, even though I was, down on myself during that time, the difference, I was fighting through music to be the true me. So I never let that stop me. It was actually that made me heal. Wow. Which brought us up.
Yes.
This is why I always say, do not decide, even now, Michelle, where you at? Meaning just in trying to build this thing. Never despise the darkness and the contrast that is before you, because it is the darkness and the contrast that is happening in this moment that brings you to the elevated light.
Yeah.
So it is that actually brought songs out of me. Because I thought about it when I, came over that spot at 29.
Yeah.
I wrote this song called Who I Am. So it goes like this. Just a year ago, didn't love me at all, making friends with everyone else, except the reflection that I saw staring at me, telling me to take my hand. Didn't know at the time, now I know God had a plan. So glad I know who I am. So glad I know who I be. It took me 30 years to understand. For the first time, probably I believe. And then I go on to say a second verse. I bow before him, because it's happening for real. And he took me by my hand, telling me who I was. No mistake, not by chance. He said, you're priceless. Through that darkness, through that person that I allowed, even though I didn't understand, I allowed myself to accept that I was this and that, instead of recognizing, no, I am this in me that is the light. And you don't have to understand it.
Stay tuned for part 2, Behind the Voice with Tanya Ross, Unfiltered.